In the long baseball season, in the summer, often players will fall into slumps. They'll find themselves in times when it seems like just nothing is working. And as Christians, we find ourselves in slumps sometimes too. So what do we do when that happens? In this video today, I'm going to give you 4 ways to survive a slump. So let's get started. Now, for lots of Christian men, there's a slump that happens, and it often happens in the summer. Spring was in the past, everyone was motivated, everything was going well, but then summer came along. The weather turned nice, family activities started to happen. Everybody got really busy with their summer schedule. A lot of guys end up skipping church. They don't even go back to church until the fall. And of course, while summer, it's the common time for people to experience a slump for stepping away from the church and whatever. The reality is we could experience a slump at any time. And when the slump happens during times where we're supposed to be at our peak, such as Christmas or Easter, that can be even more challenging because those are the times we're supposed to be more spiritually on, more engaged, all in. But slumps, they can happen any time of the year. We wake up one morning and we just feel off. We open up the Bible and nothing is happening. We're just reading the words and then we have to reread and reread and reread because we're not getting anything. Nothing's coming to us. We hear our favorite worship songs, but we have no reaction. We're just swinging and missing on everything that we try. Prayer starts to feel more like a chore than a blessing. That's when we know we're in a slump. And when we're in a slump, that's when verses like Psalm 55:6, they might take on a different meaning. It says, "Oh, that I had wings like a dove, then I would fly away and rest." I think all Christians, like all baseball players, go through slumps at times. It's just part of the journey. So not only can the slump happen any time of the year, but it also can happen to every believer. No one is immune from experiencing a spiritual slump. And as a side note here, it's important to realize that a slump isn't when you've given into sin and you're dealing with the consequences of that sin. This is not what we're talking about today. It's not when a man goes on a trip and has an affair and then has to face the very real reality of his sin. A slump is different from the effects of sin. A slump is when you feel like you've just lost your desire to serve, when nothing is working and you feel like it's just not even worth your time to be involved in all this church stuff in the first place. So what do we do? If we're all going to experience these slumps, is there anything that we can do to avoid them or at least have them have less of an impact on our lives? So here are 4 suggestions in no particular order for how do you work your way out of a slump, getting back to hitting singles and home runs. So first, don't start looking for other people or other things to blame. It's very easy to get in a mindset where it's someone else's fault for your slump, but resist this. As with the rest of your life, God is the author. He has a plan. Instead of looking for others to blame, look for some opportunity to learn. What is God trying to teach you during this time? Consider Matthew 7:7 and 8. Keep on asking and you will receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking and you will find. For everyone who asks receives. Everyone who seeks finds. And to everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. Second, don't make any major changes. It can be tempting to really change things up during a slump. Imagine a batter switching from lefty to righty, and then that doesn't work, so they switch back to lefty again. Don't do that. Do your best to stick with what you were doing earlier on in the season, so to speak. Keep on reading your Bible. Keep on going to church. Keep on listening to uplifting music. Let God work in you and through you during this time. Remembering that this is a long season and the race that you're running, it's not for the next few months, it's for eternity. Think about 2 Corinthians 4:17 and 18. For our present troubles are small and won't last very long, yet they produce for us a glory that vastly outweighs them and will last forever. So we don't look at the troubles we can see now, rather we fix our gaze on things that cannot be seen. For the things we see now will soon be gone, but the things we cannot see will last forever. And the third one is change your focus. This slump, it might be the perfect time to shift your focus away from you and onto other people. Perhaps there's someone or a whole group of people who you could help during your slump. This might be the perfect opportunity for God to lead you in a way that you never thought of or never had in mind. Consider Romans 15:2. It says, we should help others do what is right and build them up in the Lord. And lastly, fourth, do find others to walk the walk with. During a slump, it's so easy to get stuck inside our own minds and start overthinking and overanalyzing everything. This is a time when having other men to walk with matters even more than normal. And remember Hebrews 10:24 and 25 here. Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. And let us not neglect our meeting together as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near. The fact is that slumps are going to happen. It's okay. Don't be discouraged. Don't be worried. Don't be anxious. You're going to get through this no matter what it is. And remember that this too shall pass. Please be sure to rate and review this show, this podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, or if you're watching it on your YouTube. Your ratings, your reviews, your likes, your comments, sharing, it really helps the algorithm, helps other people find the show. So thank you for that. And head over to significantman.com and sign up for the free Intel weekly email series. Sometimes I write something that is motivational. Sometimes it's a devotion. Sometimes it's inspiring. Just something for you to think about and help you get through the week. It's free. It's fast. So go over to significantman.com and sign up for Intel today. All right. Enjoy the next show.